We're going to do some guided whiteboards on 3.7, which is multiplying radicals. And I'm going to give you a problem. You give it a try. Pause the video while you give it a try. I will give you an answer, and then if you want the explanation, you can listen to the explanation. If you got it right and you know what you're doing, you can just move on to the next problem. So our first problem is 3 square root of 12 times square root of 6. Pause it and give that a try. The answer to this one is 18 square root of 2. And there's a couple of different ways to do it, so I'll show you one of them. So in this one, I'm just going to do 3 times, there's nothing here, so it's just 3. And then I need to do 12 times 6 inside the radical, which is 72. And then 72 can break down into 36 times 2. Square root of 36 is 6. Square root of 2 stays in there. And then 3 times 6 is 18 square root of 2. The other way to do it, if you want the other way, is to simplify first. So I could say that 12 is the same thing as 4 times 3. And then the 4 square root of 4 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. So square root of 3 times square root of 6. And then I do 6. 3 times 6 is 18. 18 is the same thing as 9 times 2. And then square root of 9 is 3. So 18 square root of 2. So either way you do it, you get the same thing. Number 2 is square root of 5 times square root of 10. Our answer to that one is 5 square root of 2. And the way we do that, 5 times 10 is 50, so that's the square root of 50, which is the same thing as 25 times 2, and then the square root of 25 is 5 times the square root of 2. Number 3 is square root of 6 times square root of 6. Our answer to that one is just 6, because square root of 6 times square root of 6 is square root of 36, which is 6. Number 4, we have square root of 18a squared times 4 square root of 3a squared. Pause that and give it a try. Your answer should end up being 12a squared square root of 6. And I simplified this one individually first, so I said that 18 is the same thing as 9 times 2 times a squared, and so the square root of 9 is 3, square root of a squared is a, and then square root of 2. And then this one, the square root of a squared is a, so I put 4a times the square root of 3, and then 3 times 4 is 12, a times a is a squared, 2 times 3 is 6, and since those were in the square root, they stay in the square root. Okay, let's try number 5. So that's negative square root of 28x times square root of 7x to the third. That one is negative 56x squared. And here's why. I separated my 28 into 4 and 7 and x. And then this one can't really be, well, it could be simplified. You can think about it as, you could take the x out if you wanted to, but I'm going to wait for that one. So I'm just going to take out the 4, and that becomes 2. Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 7x times 7x to the third. And then I'm going to multiply those. So 7 times 7 is 49. X times x to the third is x to the fourth. And then everything in here is a perfect square. So negative 2 times square root of 49 is 7. And the square root of x to the fourth is x squared. Whoops, I must have made a mistake here. Oh, I know what I did. I wrote the problem incorrectly at first. So sorry. So this one should end up being negative 14x squared. The original problem had a 4 there, so that's why it was 56x squared. So sorry about that. All right. Number 6 is square root of 3 times the quantity, 5 plus square root of 3. And this one should be 5 square root of 3 plus 3, because I'm going to distribute to both of these. So 5 square root of 3, I'm just multiplying those together, plus square root of 3 times square root of 3 is square root of 9. 5 square root of 3 cannot be simplified, but the square root of 9 is just 3. So it looks like that. Number 7, 2 square root of 5 times the quantity, square root of 6 plus 2. The answer to that one is 2 square root of 30 plus 4 square root of 5. I'm distributing to each one, so 2, my 2 stays outside of the radical. 5 times 6 is 30, and then plus 2 times 2 is 4 square root of 5, and it can't be simplified more than that. Last one, number 8 is negative 2 square root of 15 times the quantity, negative 3 square root of 3 plus 3 square root of 5. Your answer for that one is 18 square root of 5 minus 30 square root of 3, because I'm distributing again. So negative 2 times negative 3 is 6. 15 times 3 is 45. And then negative 2 times positive 3 is negative or minus 6. 15 times 5 is 75. And now we're going to simplify. So the square root of 45 can be broken down into 9 and 5. And 75 can be broken down into 25 and 3. And so I'm going to take out my 9. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 5. Whoops. And then the square root of 25 is 5 square root of 3. So 6 times 3 is 18. And then 6 times 5 is 30. Square root of 3. Okay, so same thing. Make sure that you mark any problems that you're having troubles with, or write down any questions, and we will talk about them next class.